are the once nice guys that turned into rebels, with or without a cause.
I'm not entirely sure who made the seating plan, but I'm sandwiched between two men. Which when I considered that tonight would just be 100 women and myself.
Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 good boys gone bad.
And it was below zero. I mean, Toronto, winter.
For this list, we're focusing on a group of celebrity men who once enjoyed the perks of public approval before deciding they wanted to change their images around.
Hey, you want to see crazy? I'll tell you.
We're not just talking about the characters they might play, but more so about their once being known for their good boy natures in real life, and now, not so much.
Just do it!
Number 10, Aaron Carter.
When I get in trouble, hey, I'm not so old. I pull my cat way down, see I'm 13 years old.
He's the younger brother of a Backstreet Boy and dropped his debut album at only 10 years of age. But after releasing a trilogy of studio albums in the 2000s, Aaron Carter effectively disappeared from the music scene.
Now trouble starts.
Is that a car door? Oh, dang, I'm in trouble. Everybody get out now. On the double, I'm dead. That's it for me. I'm gonna be picked off my family tree.
Sure, he made headlines for sparking a feud between Hilary Duff and Lindsay Lohan, and later became a fixture of reality TV, but the once charming little kid slowly transformed into the 20-something troublemaker that Daddy warns you about.
I mean, I still have my fun. You know what I mean? I still have my fun.
In 2008, AC was busted with sweet old Mary Jane, and by 2013, he was deep in debt and had to settle millions of dollars in back taxes.
From the years when I was like 13, 14, 15, I turned 18 years old. I got hit with $2.2 million of stuff that I owed. The people serving me lawsuits while I was on the dance floor.
Number 9, James Franco.
So now, it's like doubly embarrassing, but anyway.
Back in the late 90s and early 2000s, this talented heartthrob was just your average pretty boy actor that melted the hearts of women.
I'm not ashamed of who I am. Just what I am. Forget it.
But with each passing year, it seems more apparent that James Franco could not give an F about standard Hollywood conventions, as he essentially does whatever the heck he wants and doesn't seem to care what anyone thinks. And hey, some women love that. A lot. As James has that rare kind of charisma that makes all his tomfoolery and shenanigans even more interesting.
You don't know who's on the other end. You meet somebody in person and you get a feel for them, but you don't know who you're talking to. And
right.
So I use bad judgment, and I learned my lesson.
Ladies love some James Franco, and he loves them right back.
Come on, y'all. Why acting suspicious? Get in.
Where are we going?
Go wherever you all want.
Number 8, Corey Haim.
Extra, read all about it,
If James Franco has a perpetual license to chill, this late actor has a temporary license to ill across the landscape of late 80s cinema.
Well, as far as my fans out there being, help Corey, where's our Corey, and, the whole misconception thing from the people out there,
Some of you know Corey Haim from such films as License to Drive and The Lost Boys. And perhaps some of the younger Miss Mojoholics don't even know what we're talking about right now, but this man's descent into drug addiction serves as a reminder of how enormous success at a young age can drastically affect one's life. Just ask his good friend and fellow actor, Corey Feldman.
I believe that his death was accidental or otherwise, but I don't believe it was by his own hand. I don't believe it was his own doing, and I don't believe it was his intentions.
Number 7, Mel Gibson.
Well, you sure are a crazy son of a bitch.
You think I'm crazy?
For many, just the sound of this man's name reminds them of his more publicized trials and tribulations in recent years. But don't forget that Mel Gibson once stole our hearts in Forever Young and What Women Want.
You're so good to me, I know.
By that time, Mel was reportedly already a 10-year veteran of alcoholic benders, yet he was still a relatively safe and bankable star. At least until his 1984 car accident under the influence of booze. But even though Gibson might have been able to hide most of his bad boy behavior throughout the 80s and 90s, it obviously got the best of him on that fateful Malibu night in 2006.
I'll be more convincing than Mel Gibson when he apologized to the Jews.
I'm really, really sorry about your big noses. I'm really sorry about how greedy you are.
And pretty much every year since then.
Let's move on, dude. Come on.
Edge of Darkness opens today. It's good to see you back in the saddle and doing what you do best. Thanks a lot for joining us, Mel. Take care.
Bye-bye. Asshole.
Number 6, Gary Coleman.
What you talking about, Willis?
If you grew up in the 80s or have seen just one episode of the sitcom Different Strokes, then you know that the late Gary Coleman was the man.
What? You're Gary Coleman. I know who I am.
At only 4 feet 8 inches, he became a gigantic figure of the television industry, and not just because of his likability. Coleman had a natural gift for entertainment, but as his fame increased and kidney problems progressed, his perceived role of a pop culture prop became too much to bear, especially considering the plight of co-stars Dana Plato and Todd Bridges.
And I'm the last survivor. Everyone thought I'd be the first to go, but I'm the last man standing.
He was dealt a rough hand, but we'll always remember him as one of the most agreeable stars to grace the small screen.
I chose to be in this business, ill-informed as I was. I chose to be in this business, and I will forever honor that choice.
Number 5, Danny Bonaduce.
If that's what you're bringing, bitch, you're dead.
There's simply not enough time to fully detail the reality TV journey of this Partridge Family star. Just look at Danny Bonaduce then and now. Once a cute little red-headed bass guitarist, and now a tough guy in a tank top.
Take a shot. Okay, swing. Don't stand there, swing.
All joking aside, Danny comes from a Hollywood family, as his dad worked on The Dick Van Dyke Show, so when one grows up in the biz, one must also experience the inevitable derailment that so often destroys fragile personalities.
I consider myself a changed man now, because it's effortless to not be a jerk.
And when it comes to personalities, Danny seems to be in full control of his surroundings, even if it happens to be the slammer, which he's certainly familiar with.
90% of convicts are mostly going to think, how cool is this guy for the best of it. But 10%, and the dangerous 10%, are going to think, that guy's head is a trophy, and I want it on my mantelpiece.
Number 4, Michael Phelps.
He hits it, and he does. Remarkable, stunning.
Every 4 years, we all come together and cheer for our respective countries' most talented athletes. But let's be real. We associate the name Michael Phelps with one thing and one thing only: gold medals.
Why not have fun? I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying being in the pool. I'm enjoying coming to work out every day.
Okay, when you take home 22 medals over the course of 3 Olympics, you're bound to have more pop culture exposure than the average Olympian. But even more so when you're smoking doobies and driving around under the influence of booze.
Michael apologized on Twitter Tuesday, writing, "Earlier this morning, I was arrested and charged with DUI, excessive speeding, and crossing double-lane lines."
Believe it or not, Michael Phelps isn't some American Olympic robot that shows up every 4 years to embarrass international competitors. He's a genuine good boy gone bad, a classic example of someone in tune with their craft, yet still a flawed human being.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've literally made a boatload of mistakes, and you know, that's a part of growing and learning and I guess becoming an adult.
Number 3, Dustin Diamond.
Whatever you're doing, don't.
Here's a child star that's still a relatively young man, but given the ups and downs of his personal life, it somehow feels like he's been around forever. Sure, maybe Dustin Diamond hasn't appeared in any noteworthy films or TV shows since his day as Screech on Saved by the Bell, but don't think he's as fragile as his iconic character.
I'm just a geek with a squeaky voice.
As it was alleged in Diamond's questionable book that he slept with over 2,000 women. While that may not be true, he did in fact release his own sex tape in 2006.
Where's a Screech sex tape? You got to be worth at least $1 million. And I thought, yeah, maybe.
He's wrestled, he's hustled around the industry, and by 2015, he was sentenced to 4 months in the clink for stabbing a man at a Wisconsin bar, thus allowing him to forever say, "I will cut you."
Screech got arrested for stabbing someone?
Well, that sounds like fun.
That's actually not fun at all.
Seriously, Screech, get it together.
If I burp the wrong way, TMZ gets it. And I did not want, an event with her being hit in a bar and that being it and done to become Dustin Diamond pulled a knife at a bar on somebody.
Number 2, Shia LaBeouf.
You seem to have gone crazy since the last time I saw you. Is that true?
It does seem that way, doesn't it?
Well, here's a curious case of a former child star who has grown into some type of self-aware performance artist, or whatever he's got going on these days.
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams.
It's always troubling for young actors to grow up in front of the camera. However, Shia has literally grown up during a unique time in history, the digital age. A time when everybody is trying to one-up each other with bizarre, staged acts, all in the name of creativity.
After actor Shia LaBeouf turned up wearing a paper bag over his head with the words, "I am not famous anymore," written across it.
Of course, plagiarism is always a no-no. And Mr. LaBeouf felt the wrath of social media in 2013 after yet another poor demonstration of decision-making.
An amateur short film LaBeouf released, lifted from a Daniel Close comic without credit, which resulted in this apology tweet. An apology which, bizarrely, looked awfully similar to this Yahoo Answers definition of plagiarism.
In essence, each year brings a new Shia fiasco, which highlights the idea that he's either trying too hard or just needs a big ol' hug. Because some of this stuff you just can't make up. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
You just can't go around killing people.
Why?
What do you mean why? 'Cause you can't.
What ride did you go to on Disneyland?
It was called jail.
As far as she's concerned, you don't even exist. All right, you know what? It's all about to change.
I was, a child star. I was successful all over the world doing stuff, and I didn't want it. I wanted to party, and I wanted to, do my own thing, and I led myself down the worst possible road I could find.
Once you're addicted to heroin, not having it when you need it, there is no worse feeling in the world.
I'm a pilot, and someday I'm gonna fly away from this place.
Hopefully he has not gone the way of so many child stars and is gonna end up a statistic. But Anakin, there's hope for you. You gotta find Obi-Wan, he's your only hope.
Obviously not, because I am just some kid who's only slept with 9 people, but I just wondered, I really feel, in short, to recap in a slightly clearer version, in the words of David Cassidy, in fact, while he was still with the Partridge Family, I think I love you.
I think you know in life pretty much what's a good thing to do and what's a bad thing, and I did a bad thing, and there you have it.
Number 1, Justin Bieber.
How do you plan to stay grounded?
It's crazy. There's a lot of people that have basically train wrecked, as you said. But I just have so many people surrounding me that are just great people. I plan to just stay grounded, and it'll be a good road ahead of me.
There's really no other individual that could top this list, right? He's a quintessential example of how YouTube can make someone a star, and truth be told, Justin Bieber has managed to build himself quite the career.
You know you love me, I know you care. Just shout whenever, and I'll be there.
But at what point did he evolve from the kid with the adorable hair into someone that's much closer to an adult brat? Well, any adolescent kid will at some time rebel against something, and in the case of Biebs, he's made plenty of wise decisions in the public eye and also some rather stupid ones.
Why are black people afraid of chainsaws?
Don't even say it.
To top it off, however, Justin Bieber can't quite seem to figure out if he's supposed to be himself or the cliched good boy gone bad. And we're telling you, Biebs, just be yourself.
I don't like your attitude, to be quite honest.
You're mad.
Because, you know what? You're too young to be smoking pot and pee-peeing in buckets and driving up and down the highway fast.
Do you agree with our list? Who is your favorite good boy gone bad?
There's one thing you don't want to be in jail, and that would be the center of attention.
For more mind-blowing top 10s published daily, be sure to subscribe to Ms. Mojo.
Thank you, Justin, for being on. It's really exciting to talk to you, especially right in the middle of your public meltdown.